When people ask me, Lou, what do you do for a living? I tell them, I speak truth to power. Because if I tell them I'm a comedian, they expect me to be funny, and I can't deal with that kind of pressure. Speaking truth to power sounds brave, but don't let activists fool you, especially activist comedians. You don't have to be brave to speak truth to power in the United States. And thank God for that, because I'm a coward. I'm no Bassem Youssef, the John Stewart of Egypt, who was forced to flee Egypt for being the John Stewart of Egypt. You know, it ain't so brave to call Trump a fascist when the guy doesn't have the power to be a fascist. I have about as much anxiety making fun of President Trump as I did making fun of President Obama or any of the other powers that be. We might piss off their supporters, but we never fear being hauled off to court or jailed or getting the knock in the middle of the night for speaking truth to power. Because the United States is the only country on the planet where a comedian can make comedy without fear of state reprisal. We've mocked dictators like Fidel Castro and Kim Jong-un from the safety of our American studio. Those fools can't touch this fool. Or can they? I hope not. Fidel's dead, right? Every day that we are creating or consuming content, we are raising a figurative middle finger to Cuba, North Korea, and all the other countries who use the threat of violence to silence speech. You wouldn't believe how many countries criminalize insulting their heads of state and royal families. Some of them Western European countries. Germany's Angela Merkel even went so far as to allow the prosecution of a German comedian for making fun of Turkey's head of state in Germany. Yeah, Erdogan's the type of guy who can't take a joke or a free press. During the 2016 presidential campaigns, a lot of people threatened to flee the country if Trump won. Of course, they didn't. Why would they? They can safely mock the president right here in the good old US of A. Plus, where are you going to go? Especially if you're a comedian. What, Canada? I got news for you guys. When it comes to free speech, Canada sucks. No matter how nice they are, boot it. The Quebec Human Rights Tribunal ordered a Canadian comic named Mike Ward to pay $42 grand in damages to a kid with a genetic disorder because Ward made fun of him in his act. Now you might be saying, but Ward was punching down by making fun of a kid and not a head of state. And $42,000 in Canadian bucks, that's not even real money. But it's the principle that counts. Whether you're head of state or some poor kid, we should all be equal before the law of getting goofed on. No one should be fined for telling jokes. In the US, I can make fun of disabled and disfigured kids all I want. And I do, all the time. My mother yells at me, Louis, stop that, God forbid. God forbid. He's the one who made him that way. Take it up with him. Don't get mad at me for noticing. Besides, Mommy, I'm just exercising my God-given First Amendment right to be a horrible person. Don't look at me, I'm a monster. Across the pond in Scotland, a YouTuber named Count Dankula was convicted of a hate crime for a video he made of a pug doing the Nazi salute.
Sieg Heil!
Yes, this happened. Count Dankula faces up to 6 months in prison, despite the fact that some of the pug's best friends are Jewish. While here in the United States, pugs and man are free to be as anti-Semitic as they want to be. As ridiculous as these examples are, they should serve as a reminder of just how good we have it here in the United States, and how vigilant we must remain to make sure it stays that way. Because I'm not brave enough to speak truth to power, if it means having to pay a fine or go to jail. No, I'd rather stick to telling jokes about Donald Trump, who is literally worse than Pug Hitler.